Yo, hello everybody. Welcome to my very first episode of my brand new podcast. If you are familiar with me, my name is ImNexusss, or just Nexus, or if you want to call me Thomas, that's my real name. but yeah, this is my brand new podcast, Babble Mouth. I literally thought about this today, and I was like, damn, it's actually a pretty good title for a podcast. So I'm like, damn. I'm taking that fucking name and we're making a podcast out of it. I am currently sitting in my closet because I wanted it to be sound damped as much as possible so you guys get the crispiest of crispy audio. But I'm also, if you've never seen my Twitch stream, then you wouldn't know. But I do have a Shure SM7B microphone. But by the way, if you guys did want to get a really good mic, this mic is actually really cheap to get. And I know what you're thinking. That mic's like $400. What the fuck are you talking about? Basically, what you can do is on Amazon, they have this thing where you can do monthly payments. And I'm not talking about like a credit card or anything like that. Basically, they let you pay, I think it was like $78 or something. It was like 78 something change a month for 5 months for this mic. And that's how I got it. So it was $78 a month for 5 months, and then you pay it off. It was something like that. I don't know the exact pricing, but it was something like that. So yeah, if you guys want to get a crispy mic for your stream or YouTube, and you want to, I guess, if you want to start taking it seriously, then yeah, I definitely want a good mic if you're going to be podcasting, streaming, YouTube. It's definitely not an essential item. In the grand scheme of things, I probably shouldn't have put all this money towards something that ultimately hasn't really paid out for me, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, it's my new podcast, Babblemouth. I will be trying at least to keep to a schedule every Monday. I want to post a new episode. So yeah, if it seems like I'm out of breath, it's because I don't know why, but sitting right here right now is like hard to breathe, and I don't know why. My arm, because I'm holding the mic, so it's not on my boom arm. I'm just holding it. The mic's not like heavy or anything. It probably weighs like 2 pounds at most. But yeah, it's like I'm putting my arm on my stomach. It's like kind of making it hard to breathe. I'll switch hands, I guess, for right now. But hopefully the audio is good. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But one of the things I haven't actually figured out what I want to do yet is how long these are going to be. I was thinking like 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. But it really just depends on if I can actually talk that long. Which, depending on the topic, I might be able to. Like today is probably going to be a longer episode just because I want to go into greater detail about my absence from Twitch and YouTube for you guys who are, if you're curious about it, because I know some people are. I know there's people who probably aren't. And if you aren't, then this podcast isn't going to be for you. You're going to want to skip to the next episode. If it is out, I'm going to fucking set up, bro. Holy shit. Hopefully you guys don't hear any crackling noises. But yeah, let's just get right into it then. Just get into the juice. Basically, right, we're gonna get into greater detail, but I'll give you the base plot. I'll give you the synopsis of what I'm about to tell you. Basically, I work at a place. I'm not going to say where it is, just because it doesn't really matter. That doesn't really have anything to do with this. Well, it's a big part of what this has to do, but the company itself isn't the reason I did what I did. But basically, where I work, you can call out through online. You don't have to call the store to call out, because where I work, calling the store would just be an automated message. You would never get to like a manager or anything. So if you want to know where I work, that is it's kind of a little teaser. But so yeah, where I work, you have to go online. You can call like a number to do it, but it's just a robot. It's still a robot regardless. There's no human to human when you call out where I work. But I always do it online. You just log in on the website. You just go to the top left. You search report an absence, and then you just put in today or tomorrow, what the reason is, and then that's it. Then you hit submit, and then that's it. Then you're called out. and they accept it every time, no matter what it is. But due to COVID-19, uh, they're not taking points. I don't know if I said that, but the place I work has a point system as well, which, if you know what I'm talking about, that was another big hint, but you'd have to know about the point system where I work. You'd have to know, but yeah. I was going to give you some little teasers, but yeah, to where I work has point system. Basically, if you call out, it's 1 point. If you leave early from your shift, it's half a point. If you don't show up, it's counts as a point for not showing up, and then there's like 2 points for something else. Ultimately it's 3 points for not showing up. So realistically, you cannot show up to work once and they won't do anything unless it's double point day, because there are certain days like holidays are the big ones for that, where they double the points they take, which is kind of fucking shitty, but hey, that's how it has to be. Like Christmas Eve and Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, I think even Martin Luther King Day, like just pretty much any reason they can to do double point days, they will. But due to COVID-19, they are not taking any points. So basically where I'm going with this is I've been abusing that point system to the point where I would only work twice a week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I would call it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I would have Sunday, Monday off because those are my normal days off. So that'd be 5 days off. I'd have a week. And I've been doing that for like 3 months. And I have been talked to like twice, I think. Maybe like 3 times. One time by the actual manager of my area. And then like once. I guess it has only been twice. Yeah, so like 2 or 3 times. But one of the other times I was actually talked to by my supervisor. Because we have a manager that runs our department. And then we have the supervisor that actually leads our team. We actually have 2. But yeah, anyway. Getting back into this. Basically, I called out a lot from where I work. So I was getting 16 hours a week. Get paid bi-weekly. That's 32 hours a check. And we get paid $14.50 an hour. So you can do the math. I live in Oregon. So if you want to do even more math. So basically the checks were coming out to about $300 some a month. Not a month, a week. Every 2 weeks. It was about $300, $350 depending. Because if we got a bonus, then I would always get the bonus. Because I think we've gotten like 3 or 4 bonuses since COVID started. Usually it's like once every 6 months, but COVID, they've increased it. It's still not great, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, they haven't taken points. I abused it. Checks were really small, and basically, I wasn't able to pay all of my bills. Rent is the one I've stayed on top of, just because that affects more than just me, because I do live by myself with 2 roommates, and I guess it's not really by myself, but I don't live with my parents anymore. I haven't lived with them for like a year. I've been on my own for like a year now, I think. But yeah. Basically, rent is the only thing that I've actually stayed on top of. My car payment is, I'm going to say was, because it's not anymore. Everything has been fixed now to a point. But my car payment was behind the internet, because I have my own internet now. I have for like 2 or 3 months. That's behind. My phone payment sometimes is late. Pretty much any payment you can think of that I would have to deal by myself was late, other than rent. That's the only one. But yeah. So but luckily enough, actually we'll go more into detail. Let's think about this. So basically, I think it was like I'm just gonna say a month because I don't know exactly, but like a month ago, I got a call from a debt collector. So basically, I've said that a lot. I do apologize if that's annoying. I've said basically a lot. But basically, right? I got a call from a debt collector about my phone. I have an iPhone XS Max. I got it whenever it released. I think it was like 2019, I think that one came out. I don't fucking know. It was something like that. I got it in October. Like October 9th, 2019, I think is what the paper said from the debt collector. They sent me a thing. But basically, I got a call from them. I actually got a call from them a couple of times, but I always thought it was a spam call, because they'd always call me at like in the morning, 8 a.m. in the morning or something like that. And I'm never awake at that time because I usually go to bed around 6 a.m. because, fuck, why not? I usually just sit on my computer, watch YouTube. Was doing stuff for my stream. Was streaming or doing something for my YouTube. YouTube usually wasn't doing anything with that. I usually was watching YouTube or doing something for my stream on like Photoshop or maybe editing in Sony Vegas, making something for the stream in Sony Vegas because that's how I make some of my things. But anyway, getting back on track. So basically, I got a call from my debt collector because I switched. I was with U.S. Cellular with the iPhone that I got, the new one. And basically, if you guys don't know, the iPhones are really expensive. The XS Max, I think, was like $1,100 when I got it at U.S. Cellular. But obviously, you don't pay $1,100 up front. It is payments. It ended up being I owed like by the time I left because I switched to a company called Wing. They use AT&T towers. You may or may not have heard of them. Wing. I mean, for what they are, they're pretty good. The customer service is pretty nice. They do what they gotta do. I mean, I'm gonna try to. I don't have. I mean, they don't do contracts. It's not like you have to stay with them for X amount of time before you can leave. But I do want to switch to Verizon because they're like top tier. I'm gonna at least try when I get out of. I'm gonna try to clear all my debt before I start making big moves. But anyway, big check. Like I was saying, debt collector called me. Right. I finally answered. I woke up one day at like 9 a.m. like about a month ago, and I answered it this time. And she was a woman. And if you've never talked to a debt collector, they are. I mean, so far, me talking to the debt collectors they haven't been rude, but they are very, very, very pushy, and they will not stop until they get what they want. It's very annoying, but they're doing what they have to do to get the money. So at the end of the day, you do owe it, and it unfortunately had to come to what it did. But other than that, so basically, yeah, the debt collector called me about 9 a.m. I answered it, and she was telling me about because I didn't really fill the story very much. So basically, when I switched from US Cellular to Wing, I was supposed to pay off the rest of my phone with US Cellular. It was $750 or something that I owed to US Cellular, and I never paid it. And then they were sending mail saying you need to pay this, you need to pay this, you need to pay this, you owe us this, you owe us this. And I just never paid it. And then eventually, because Wing, they were going to do a buyout basically where they would send $750 or whatever the amount that you owe to the previous company. They were going to send it to you, and then you would pay that off through Wing. And they sent me eventually because I had troubles getting that money. Because for some reason they sent it out, but then something happened when I sent it, and then it crashed or something, and then it never got to me. And I tried for like 3 or 4 months to actually get this. It was like 3 months or something that I tried to get it, and they just wouldn't fucking do it. And I finally got in contact with somebody who actually listened to what I was saying, and they finally got it fixed, and I got the money. But they didn't even send the correct amount. It was like, they sent me like $736, wasn't even the full amount to buy out, but it is what it is. Basically, I got the money finally. And instead of paying off US Cellular, my dumbass bought another PS4, which, by the way, sold like 2 weeks later. I actually didn't sell it, I returned it. That's what it was. I returned the PS4 so I could do something else. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I did, but I returned it. So I didn't even keep the PS4 for very long. But basically, at the end of it, I did not pay off US Cellular. And a couple months go by to current time. Because what happened basically is I was like, oh, US Cellular must have just took the L, and they're like, whatever. It is what it is. But obviously, not how life works. But they went for like 5 months of not getting any mail or anything from them. That's why I thought, you know what? Me being the, I guess, ignorant child that I am. Hope I'm using that word correct. I'm pretty sure I am. But being ignorant in terms of how the system works like that, got a call from a debt collector. And they wanted all of the money at first. They wanted me to give them $750 right then and there. I said, yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. And then then I asked if I can do it in payments, if I can split it up into like 6 months. And then she said, I can do it in 4 months. Then I agreed to it because I was like, I guess I don't have an option. So we did that. And instead of her doing 4 months, she did it for four checks, which is every 2 weeks I would do a payment. It would only be for 4 payments. But that's only 2 months. And she said she could do 4 months. So I don't know. But yeah, we did that. We set that up, which kind of annoying, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But then recently, and this is where now we're getting into the reason I'm not streaming or doing anything on my YouTube right now. Basically, the first payment came up, and I needed to either pay them or hope they don't stack payments on the next one, because if it's stacked, then it would be like 300 and fucking whatever dollars, because it was 188 every check, and this is bi-weekly, so 188 plus 188, it would be like $380 or something like that. And so I did what I had to do, and basically I opened up my PC and I took out my graphics card, my CPU, and I took out my M.2. I had a NVIDIA RTX 2070. That was a 500 GPU, $500 GPU. I had a Ryzen 7 2700X. I think I paid like $230 for that CPU. And then the M.2, I think the version of it that I had was like, it was a 250 gig model. I think it was like $79.99. But I sold it basically. Which place I went to sell it, they fucking scammed the hell out of me. I mean, I guess not really scam, but they lowballed the fuck out of me because they said they didn't know if it worked. They said they gave me the amount that they did because they didn't know if it worked or if it did work. And I was telling them it works. I can guarantee it. I was almost tempted to be like, let me go get my computer and I will prove that this shit works, but I didn't. So they offered $160 for the GPU, $70 for the CPU, and like $30 for the M.2, which, if you do the math, the only reasonable price there was the M.2. $30 for that used is pretty reasonable. $30-$40 I'd say is pretty good. Just because it is a 250 gig, it's not a big M.2. That was the only reasonable one. The one that really pissed me off was the GPU, because they're giving me $160 for a fucking 2019 card. This shit came out last year. It was $500 brand new. It had some dust on it, but that's it. It's not like it worked. It still worked perfectly fine. And I kind of regret what I had to do, but I did take the money. I made like $260 or something off of it, all of it, and basically, it was the day that the debt collectors wanted the money, and I went and cashed the money in, and then I called them because the time that they were going to take the money passed, so I had to actually call them and tell them that they can charge the card now, because I just wanted it to be done, so they take their money and they can leave me alone for like 2 weeks. But then I called this one, another lady answered. It was a different lady. Obviously it's not going to be the same person every time, but a different lady answered, and she asked me what I needed, and then I told her I owed you guys money today, but I didn't have it available and whatever. So I called and told them they could charge, and she asked me, did you want to pay the settlement, or are you doing the entire thing? And I was like, what? No. What she said is, so your total is $468, correct? And I was like, wait, you got the wrong person. I was like, mine was like $749 and some change. And she's like, hold up. And she's like, hold up a second. And I look, she's like, yeah. And then she's like saying something. It's like, did you want to pay $188? Or did you want to pay the settlement? And she's like, it's $458. No, it was a weird conversation because I was completely confused because I didn't know about any of this kind of shit. So this is like my first time and hopefully last time dealing with a debt collector. And I just want to go into this for a second before we continue the story. If you ever have to deal with a debt collector, I would suggest just doing what they want and not messing with them. Because if you don't pay them, eventually, I'm assuming eventually what they could do is just garner your wages, which is basically just forcefully take money out of your paycheck. I'm assuming they could do that. They'd have to have more information, I'm sure, but I'm sure they can if they really wanted to. But they could garnish your wages, which you don't want them to garnish your wages. That's just horrible. It'd be like getting taxes taken out of your check twice. You know, your check being taxed is already shitty enough as it is. You don't want a debt collector taking money out of your check either. That's not fun. Unless you make a shitload of money, and then I guess it doesn't matter. But if you make a shitload of money, you wouldn't be a debt collector. But anyway, just don't fuck with debt collectors. Just pay your bills. Don't do what I did. Go to work. It is not worth it at the end of the day. If anyone is listening to this and is thinking about calling out from work and you don't make a lot of money, don't do it. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. Learn from my mistakes. I'm 21 years old. My credit has plummeted. I have ruined my credit. 100% have ruined it. Luckily, I have kind of dug myself out of a hole, which is nice. We are now above the hole. We are still dealing with the debt collector as of now, but we will get back into that because we're still talking on this story. But don't do what I did. For the love of fucking God, please do not do what I did. I am trying to tell you my story, so hopefully you guys will learn from it. Use this as motivation to go to work. Just go to work. Just do it. 8 hours a day, 12 hours, whatever your shift is, just do it. If you need to take more shifts, just get the shift. Pay the bills. It is not worth the hassle. It is not worth playing video games on when you had a day where you could have been working. It's not. Just trust. I'd hope most people would tell you this. But just go to work is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, back to the story. So where were we? So she was telling me that I could pay the settlement. And she said the settlement was like $400 and I think it was $480 or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't even know what that is. She said, well, you can pay the entire amount, which is $750, $188 a month, $188 every 2 weeks. Or you could pay $248 and some change right now for the settlement, and then you can pay again in a month, and then we'll drop this case and you'll be done with us. And I was like, okay, I need you to repeat this to me one more time just so I understand what you're saying. If I pay $246 and some change right now, and then again in a month, you will leave me alone and we'll be done. And she's like, yes. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Charge me right now for that. And she's like, okay, crash your card. I gave her my card over the phone, which don't ever, unless you know it's legit, don't give your fucking card number or anything over the phone. Luckily, I knew these guys were legit. I gave them over the phone and they were legit. But overall, just don't do it over the phone. Just ask them if they have a website and you can log in and do it yourself manually. I don't like doing auto payments personally, but sometimes the debt collectors don't give you an opportunity. And the place that the debt collector that I'm going through does have a website, but since they've already have me on automatic payments, I can't even log into the website because I actually got a number to log in, but it tells me that I can't because it's already set up to auto pay. So they won't let me. But yeah. So basically I'm paying off a settlement for the phone, and then they're going to drop the case, and then the phone will be almost out of my life. But like I said before, a company, the company that I have my phone through, Wing, they sent me money, and I have to pay that off as well. And I have been making payments on that every once in a while. That's like $56.70 every month. That technically would be paid off right now if I wasn't skipping some payments on it. Because like I said, so at the end of the day, debt collectors suck. Fucking, yeah, just don't put yourself in a hole. It's going to be hard to get out of. Because having a good credit score in life makes life a lot easier. Makes you getting a house for your family easier. I mean, getting a car, getting lower APR rates and interest rates and all that bullshit, you know. I mean, I'm just 21 and I'm just kind of speaking out of my ass right now, but like I said, just go to work. It's not worth it. Like I said, I have dug myself out of a hole. On my next check, I'm paying my car payment, and they're going to be skipping the September payment as well. So I'll be caught up on the car payment. I still have to get the internet figured out, but that is figured out. I am currently, I have 80 hours every check if I actually went to work, and I'm going to be doing the 80 hours, but I'm also going to be working an extra 3 hours overtime on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so that adds up to 33 hours. That's like 56 hours a week or something per. And my checks are going to be fat. I think I calculated an amount to be like 1,100 or something a check for now until they eventually take overtime away, which probably won't be until like January, I hope. Because if I can dig myself out of this hole and get a lot of money, get my bills all figured out. So I have to also pay off a credit card and $1,000 loan. The credit card I got a long time ago, and I used the credit card to get the RTX 2070, so that's cool. And that's been, I haven't paid that off in a year, and it could have been paid off because the way I had the card like literally almost paid off, and then I realized I didn't have to make these fucking huge payments that I was doing, and I only had to do like $25 a month to actually meet the minimum, and then you'd be good. And I was doing like fucking $200 on this thing, right? And I didn't have to, and I was like, damn, I'm just gonna use this money. And yeah, I never got caught back. I almost had it paid off. And the plan now is to pay off the credit card and then just use it to help build a credit. Because realistically, the way you should use it is like get gas with the credit card and then pay off that $20 or whatever you used instantly. Just pay it off right now. Boom, done. There you go, credit. Use it to get little things, groceries, pay off the groceries, boom, done. You know, just build up your credit, but not buy $500 graphics cards and then the card is maxed and now it's on zero and now you're just, and now you're a slave to the bank until it's gone. Not really a slave, but now you owe them money forever until eventually you pay it off. Which mine's only $500. It could have been paid off a long time ago. Like I said, I'm a fucking dumbass. Didn't pay it off. But, yeah. So the reason I'm not streaming, basically, is that I don't have a graphics card and a CPU. But recently I did buy a Ryzen 5 3400G. If you don't know what that is, it is a CPU that has Radeon integrated graphics. Turns out, not the strongest thing in the world, but at least I have a computer I can work with. But I am not going to be streaming or posting to YouTube. But I did actually today, as of, I don't even know what the day is, September something. Whenever the day this podcast is posted on, just look at the release date of this podcast. Basically, I announced that I will be returning in 2021 to streaming. And the plan is, I didn't really put this in my tweet longer, but the plan is to pay off some of the main debts, the debt collector being one of the main debts. The debt collector, the Affirm, which is where I owe the second chunk of phone money to. So that's the money. So Affirm is where I have to pay the second chunk. Is the money that Wing did send me that I didn't use for US Cellular, I'm paying off through Affirm. So I have to pay them off and the debt collector off. So I'm paying for the same thing fucking twice, essentially. Which, so that's the second one that I want to get done. I only owe like $180 on Affirm. I have like, I don't know, something like that. It's pretty small, pretty reasonable. And then that'll be done. So the debt collector, Affirm, and my credit card are the three that I want to be done with. Well, the credit card, I just want to pay it off so that I don't have to like use it. So that payment, that $25 a month that they want, is gone. I don't have to do that anymore. I need to stay up on my card payment. Keep up to that. Which, if I keep this overtime schedule going for a while, I should be able to be pretty good on that. My car payment is $262 a month. I have a crazy fucking interest rate. I'm sure if I either have to rebuild my credit to hopefully redo that, or pay off this loan and just get a different car in general. I want to get a Tesla. That's the dream. Probably not gonna happen, but that's the dream. You have to do like a $4,500 down payment minimum to get one of those cars. So, I mean, we'll see what happens down the road, but yeah. But yeah, those are the 3 debts that I want to pay off, and then we're going to be rebuilding the PC. I'm actually going to be rebuilding kind of from scratch to, I think, pretty much rebuilding the entire PC. I'm going to get a new case, new motherboard, a stronger motherboard. I'm going to get the Ryzen 7 2700X still. I'm getting the same CPU. I'm going to get the 2650 Super graphics card. It's $100 cheaper than the 2070, so I'm going to get that one. The speeds are pretty much the same, other than the 2650 is Super. I think it's a 2060 Super, or the 2650. Which is one of those? It's a 2060 Super or something like that. The speeds are a little slower on the 2060, but it was like 2 or 3 FPS difference, and I was watching a Linus Tech Tip on it. It was a Linus Tech Tip video, and it was like 4 FPS difference, and the GPU's heat was the same, everything was the same. But yeah, new case, same CPU, different graphics card, new motherboard. I'm going to be taking away my hard drive. I'm not running any mechanical hard drives anymore. I'm only doing SSDs and M.2s. I want to do 2 M.2s, a single SSD. I'm getting 16 more gigs of RAM because I'm keeping the same RAM sticks that I have, which are I actually need to check the pins because I don't know if I have if the pins are fine, then I'm going to keep the RAM sticks. But if I have to get in RAM, then I will. But I have decent RAM. I have pretty good RAM, good speeds, like 266. I mean, I watched a video on RAM a long time ago saying that there's different speeds in RAM didn't really affect anything. I think it was like a Jay's 2 cents video that I seen. But yeah, rebuilding the PC. It's gonna take some time, but we will get there. I don't have an official date in 2021 to when I want to do it, but at some point in 2021. I wanted to do January, but it'll probably more than likely it'll be late January or the beginning of February, like around my birthday. I guess my birthday's mid-February, but regardless. But yeah, that's why I'm not streaming right now, not posting to YouTube. But I thought I'd give you guys a little taste of me for now. We're gonna do this podcast, like I said, every Monday. At least attempting to do it every Monday. If I do miss a Monday, I do apologize. I shouldn't be missing Mondays though. It could come out on a Sunday or a Monday basically, but Sundays and Mondays are perfect for me. So guys, hope you do enjoy. Hope you did enjoy the podcast. I'm sorry, but hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. This has been your boy Nexus. This has been the Babble Mouth podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next one.